Eleanor Mary Clarke, called Elly, is my daughter. She was born on the 29th of October 1983. She wrote to me in an email in January 2019 expressing her distress and objections to me about responding to the behaviour of David, her twin brother, who had decided not to speak to me again or see me again after I had expressed my views to him in private about his homosexuality and after a few exchanges between us on Facebook. She started by saying that my labelling homosexuality, adultery and fornication and putting them all in the same box is not going to win my argument, isn't going to win your family support and isn't going to get through to people, just hurt those closest to you. These were her words. She goes on to say, I will tell you what I've voiced to Isaac. I'm just frustrated in your approach, Dad. First putting all that dirty laundry on Facebook. There was just no need to add things about Uncle Michael and other things for all the world to see. However, I do understand why you were attacked too. But it's commonplace. Plus, you are the adult. She went on to state, you act like a child and not a father a lot of the time, getting your point across rather than helping, coaching, nurturing. You don't ever take into consideration a person's feelings. It's like you have no emotions, no feelings. Your children, especially David, is hurting. I know David is a nightmare at times, but sometimes you need to be the bigger person, be a father, and get down to David's level, empathise. She states, if you had led an exemplary life, with just a few mistakes, I would respect your views far more, but you haven't. You have messed up time and time again. She goes on to say, by the way, you preach like putting square pegs through a round hole repeatedly. There are better ways to preach your beliefs. Be rational, be logical. You want to preach the word of God, then get down to the level of the people you are preaching to. Take your ego and fundamentalist approach out of the equation. She then says, I feel you don't ever empathise with your children or anyone else in any situation. It's just like you have no feelings. You are arguing your point, which is absolutely fine, but then you act like the adult in any given situation. If you were to say to David, look, you know my faith, you know I have messed up so many times, but I feel the path I'm taking is the right one for me. I truly believe X, Y and Z because whilst I support you and love you, my belief for all these years isn't going to appease you. But I don't want us to turn against each other. Let's make a deal with each other. I won't stir up the pot to upset you, and in turn, you don't for me. This is the approach you need to take for your children's sake. She then cites, look at Mum and the Royces. The topic of God is off the table because they don't want to fall out with each other, but love each other. Whilst you and Isaac believe in God and have chosen the path you have both taken, appreciate that I have too. It's not the same as yours, but I'm happy with my path. I have a good moral compass. Many of my principles I follow, and most people, lay loosely on some of the commandments anyway, which is quite ironic. I'm really happy with my life. I could even say that I feel it's a damn sight happier than yours. Yet you are the one casting so many stones to people, saying that they're all wrong and you're living a good life. I mean, you are hardly living a good life, are you? Your faith and religion don't seem to have brought you much happiness or a real good life. In fact, I'd say you are the unhappiest of most. A lot of people don't believe in God. Why can't we have a society, or at least a father, who says, you believe in what you do, I do what I do? Let's leave it at that. According to you, you are still essentially going to heaven, right? So why alienate people when in fact you could just boast about your belief and supposed happiness? If I were a believer, I would be shouting out why and how it makes me feel and how happy I was to having something to believe in. I wouldn't be condemning anyone around me and then quoting verses from the Bible that only people who know the Bible would understand. You don't preach to the converted, you preach to the unconverted, which means getting to their level. A good teacher knows this. They can emphasise, know your audience to get the best of it. By the way, I was teasing you about your teaching qualifications. I know you have them, but that doesn't make you a good teacher. You know, the ability to empathise is a powerful tool. It would obtain you more respect, more listeners and admiration. Look, however we come to this earth, we have grown up with that we all have feelings and emotions, apart from you it seems, so with that you can't cast the feelings aside like you do. Dad, you're so smart in so many ways, yet so stupid sometimes, and for that I just lose some respect. You used to show emotion, you used to understand, but these days you just argue everything logically. Persons can't help but bring emotions into discussions, arguments, everyday life. People base life on emotions. You connect with someone emotionally too, and you are onto a winner. Oh, by the way, I'm pregnant. Very early, mind. Due around your birthday. I get scans today. I will know how far soon. The next instalment is to listen to my response to Elly Clarke and her cryptic comments like, "Still not getting it?